welcome back to the Catalyst of Development podcast, where our purpose is to help you find yours. This is episode 17. We're going to go ahead and call it Win the Day. Let's think about it, man. No matter what you're trying to build, what problem you're trying to solve, or what goal you are trying to reach, it always happens one day at a time. One day at a time. One act, one decision at a time. That's what we're going to discuss today. We're going to discuss small steps, day by day, that helps us win the day. We'll start with why it's important. Then we're going to talk about why some people struggle with it. I'll give a quick couple of examples of what I'm talking about. And then, like always, you are going to get some actionable steps and some pro tips that you can take starting today. So let's not wait any longer. Go ahead and punch in that code so we can start learning how to win the day. Author Darren Hardy once said, "Have you ever been bitten by an elephant? How about a mosquito?" You see, it's the little things in life that will actually bite you. For most of us, it's the frequent, small, and seemingly inconsequential choices that are ultimately the most important. Let's dive right into topic number one, why small steps day by day is so important. You got to think, man, we are creatures of habit. Too much change all at once is extremely hectic. We don't like it. It's almost like drinking from a fire hose. It creates anxiety and unwanted stress. Too many changes, especially large ones, all at once can cause second and third order effects that we are not prepared for. Perfect example. I know a lot of us out there, including myself, establish goals and resolutions to get healthier. And that probably included going to the gym. Well, if we go to the gym on day one, like we haven't missed any time, or in my case, like I'm a youngin' again, we run the risk of obviously being sore, extremely sore, which could cause us to miss a couple days. Or we could even run the risk of an injury, which could make us potentially miss weeks to months, right? You couple that with falling off of our diet, falling off of the wagon, and we actually are worse off than when we even started, right? All because we jumped in way too fast, way too quick. Small steps and just focusing on winning the day also helps perfectionists stay in check. I'm a perfectionist. It's one of the things I know I have to work on. I spend way too much time trying to be perfect in things when I know I'm smart enough to understand that perfection is not attainable. But let's use this perfect mentality right now. We got to admit that it's a hell of a lot easier to be perfect, right? And please understand that I'm using that term very loosely. It's a hell of a lot easier to stay perfect for a day rather than for a week, a month, or even a year. And when we think about things in terms of weeks and months and years, man, that can be overwhelming. And honestly, sometimes completely demotivating. We don't need to worry about next week, next month, or even next year. We need to focus on today. And that's why it's important. Topic 2, why we struggle. Look, change is upsetting for us. We are creatures of habit. Change is upsetting for us, even if it's good for us. Our brains, right? Our brains haven't evolved, right? Society has evolved. Our brains haven't evolved in the sense that their main goal is to try to protect us. So they look for comfort. Radical change When we make these radical changes in our lives, we have got to kind of hide them in the actions from the past, the comfortability of the past. This is one way to trick the brain. And I'm going to try to give you an example. Let's say one of your goals is saving money, right? And every day on the way home, you stop by the store, right? You stop by the store to either get some Starbucks or a drink or something like that. Well, your goal is saving money. You already stopped by the store. Maybe the bank is right next to the store. So as you swing by and stop by the store, you also stop at the bank to deposit some money into your savings. You see, you're taking a new habit and you're building it onto something you already do, right? It's completely different than reminding yourself or waking yourself up in the middle of the night like, oh, I forgot to go to the bank. No. Hide it. Hide that change in something that you already do, right? Because your brain is going to want to take you back to comfort because that's what its job is, to keep you safe. And change, for whatever reason, we do not feel is safe. Another reason we struggle, I'm going to be real, we underestimate how much work actual change requires. We think, oh, this is going to be easy, this is going to be easy. Then we find out, hey, guess what? It's not. It takes work. Then you look at change in the external, right? Change in the external, a car, a haircut, you dress differently, maybe you buy a house, this is easy. Internal change, however, is far more difficult. But internal change is what a lot of us are after. Internal change could be things like your mindset, your attitude, your health. Internal change upsets our core habits and our rituals, right? You get a new car, your ritual stays the same. You still take the same route to work. You're in a newer car. But internal change messes up these routines. Let's use the example of smoking. Smoking has been said to be more mental than physical. Studies have shown that about 7 to 14 days after someone quits smoking, the physical craving, like the craving for nicotine, is gone. And then it's all mental. But then, if you think about it, how many people struggle year after year after year to quit smoking? Because it's mental. It's internal change that we struggle with, not the external change of just putting the cigarette down. Lastly, one of the biggest ways I think we struggle with this small steps in winning the day, is the story we tell ourselves. Now, I want you to think about the story you tell yourself, especially when you're stressed out, you're facing obstacles, challenges, and hard times. How many of you say things like, man, I'm just not good enough, or I've always been this way, or I don't have the skills or the knowledge to do this? Maybe you even say, I don't have the time. We tell ourselves these stories so frequently that we actually start to believe them. So we struggle because of the stories we tell ourselves. Start changing your story. All right, some quick examples. I got 2 of them written down here. It's funny. We focus long term, but I'm trying to pull everybody back into the now, into the present, because that is where you win the day. Perfect example. You don't get into shape by saying you're going to go to the gym every day. You set a goal, I'm going to go to the gym every day this year. And then all of a sudden you miss a day and then you feel like a failure. Some of us internalize that like, well, there goes that. I've already lost that goal, right? So no, you don't get into shape by saying you're going to go to the gym every day. You get in shape by going to the gym today. You go to the gym today. And then guess what? Tomorrow when you wake up, you repeat. Well, let's go back to smoking. We'll use the example of smoking again. You don't quit smoking by vowing to never pick up a cigarette again. No, you quit smoking by not picking up a cigarette today. The list goes on and on and on, and I could give you countless examples just like this, and they're all going to end with today. We've got to focus on today. We have to win today. All right, so here we go. On to the meat and potatoes of this, the actionable steps. what you can start doing today. Number one, you need to break down your big goals. All of us have big goals and dreams. And as I talked about earlier, when we look at the big goal, it can be daunting, demotivating, demoralizing. Let's break those down. Let's reverse engineer these goals to smaller bite-sized chunks. Let's take money, right? I want to save $10,000 this year. That's a pretty significant amount. And when I think about it, I'm like, yeesh. Matter of fact, I'm bad at math. Let's use 12,000, okay? I don't have no calculators here. Let me use 12,000. I'm not good at math. I've never been. But when I think about $12,000, I'm like, holy smokes, man, that's a lot of money. All right, so let's reverse engineer that. If I want to save $12,000 this year, what does that look like in 6 months? Well, math is pretty simple. That's why I chose 12. It's $6,000. Well, let's break that down even further. What is it a month? Well, it's about $1,000. What is it every 2 weeks? Well, it's $500. And if you break it all the way down, it's about $33 a day. Now, I don't know about you, but saving $33 a day versus saving $12,000 is something that I can actually wrap my mind around. Break down your big goals. All right. Step number 2, establish a morning routine. Most of us drag ourselves out of bed, hop in the shower, brush our teeth. Like we have no routine. We have no purpose to our morning. The main focus is just probably getting our tails to work. I'm telling you right now, establish a morning routine, whether or not it be to wake up a little bit earlier so you can take your time. Maybe you want to read, maybe you want to meditate, maybe you want to exercise, but establishing a morning routine will help you tremendously. And you got to understand that part of winning the day is winning the morning. My personal opinion, winning the morning is the most important part of winning the day. Winning the morning already sets you up on the right foot. You are already on the trajectory to win the damn day. Win the morning. Get you a morning routine. Step number 3, create a to-do list. But don't just jot stuff down. You have to prioritize it, right? You have to pick the most important things, the things that will give you the most return on investment, and those are the things you need to knock out first. We all know that we have more energy in the morning. Our brain functions better in the morning. Knock those hard tasks out in the morning. It was funny, I was reading a couple days ago, and Mark Twain had a story or was talking to somebody, and he said, if you ever have to eat a live frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning, right? Now, bear with me, right? Nobody's walking around here eating live frogs, or at least I hope not. But the message was pretty spot on. Twofold. Number one, he said, if you got to wake up in the morning and you got to eat a live frog, it's best to get it done and out of the way. Like, that's the worst thing you're going to have to do all day. Get it done. That way, the rest of your day is all uphill, right? It's all uphill. He also said that if you wait to eat that frog, you're going to keep putting it off, keep putting it off, keep putting it off. And then who knows, maybe you're going to wake up tomorrow and it's going to be 2 frogs, right? So create a to-do list, prioritize it, and then figure out what your damn frogs are, right? And eat those first. Number 4, schedule some downtime, right? Schedule some reflection time. Schedule some decompression time, at least twice during the day. That's what I recommend. At least twice during the day, let's just say for about 20 minutes. And you can use this time to do a multitude of things, right? Decompress, meditate, go over your to-do list, make sure you're hitting your marks. There's endless possibilities that you can do, but actually be deliberate and schedule some downtime throughout the day. Lastly, step number 5. Surround yourself with positive people. Now, I'm not talking about yes men and yes women. I'm not talking about enablers, but I'm talking about positive people. People who want what's best for you, will hold you accountable, will tell you when you're messing up, but also people who breathe life into you, right? We all know those negative people that when you get around them, they will just figure out a way to bring you down. Even if you're already down, they will figure out a way to bring you lower. Surround yourself with positive people, people that will push you to win the day. All right, on to these pro tips. Love me some pro tips. Habit tracking. I swear by this, right? I take my big goals and I break them down into bite-sized chunks. But then what I do is I take those bite-sized chunks and I establish daily habits that I can complete day in and day out that will ultimately get me to that goal. Perfect example for me is reading, right? I didn't set a number of books I wanted to read this year, but I did set a habit or a goal to read 30 minutes every day. So I have a habit tracker that has daily reading 30 minutes. I got the months broken down to the days, and when I do it, I put a nice little X on it. I like it. It's rewarding, but it holds me accountable. It's a habit I want to build into my life. Another one is exercise, right? I didn't set a goal to lose weight because I can't control that. I can't control if I lose 10 pounds or 15 pounds, right? We all know about water weight and all this other stuff and hormones, right? That makes our weight fluctuate. No, what I did was I just said, you know what? I want to get healthier. And getting healthier means that I probably need to go to the gym. So I established a goal of going to the gym at least 5 times a week because I know that will get me to being healthier. I have a habit tracker. This one actually falls in the weekly category, and it says go to the gym 5 times a week. Every time I go, I'm making a little X, and I get to track my habits. I love habit tracking. If you want any more information about habit tracking or kind of see what I utilize, man, please feel free to shoot me a message, hit me up in the comments, and I will gladly show you what I use. You can tailor it to your own thing, but habit tracking really keeps me accountable throughout the day. I review it at night to make sure I'm hitting my marks. Yes, habit tracking. Pro tip. It is easier to be consistent with small things. Right? I want you to think small, achievable, specific, repeatable. These are the habits that you want to set up. These are the small steps that you want to set up. They need to be small, achievable, specific, and repeatable. Right? Also, you have to be patient. Yes, I know. I said the word patient, right? That's almost like a 4-letter word in today's society because we're so instant gratification minded. We need it now. It has to happen now. If it doesn't happen now, it better have happened yesterday. No, that's not the way this works. You have got to be patient. You've got to work on your patience. How do you run 10 miles? 1 step at a time. How do you save $10,000? $1 at a time. How do you chop down a tree? 1 axe swing at a time. Remember, small, achievable, specific, repeatable. Patience. They say that slow success builds character, while fast success, well, that builds ego. So the key is consistency and patience. So I want you to be consistently patient. All right, pro tip. You must quickly create a new set of habits and or rituals to replace the old ones you are trying to change. We talked about this a little bit earlier, right? Let's use another example. You come home every day and the first thing you do is you grab a snack out of the fridge. That's your habit, right? That's your ritual. You come home, open the fridge, get a snack, sit down. We want to get rid of that, right? Let's say, you know what? I want to stop snacking right when I come home from work. I want to wait till dinner to eat. Once you remove that habit, you need to fill it with something. So let's say you come home and instead of going to the fridge, you throw your sneakers on and you just go outside for a walk. Replace it. When you remove something, no matter how small it is, you've got to replace that void or fill that space immediately. Because what happens if you don't? Let's say you come home and you don't fill that space with anything. Now all of a sudden you're just sitting around. You're looking around, you're getting bored, and what's going to happen? Well, you're going to fall right back into that bad habit. Last pro tip. HALT. HALT. Hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. These are the times when you are most likely to fall off the wagon. These are the times that you are most vulnerable to not sticking to your habits. Halt. All right. Hungry. If you're hungry, well, get something to eat. Grab a healthy snack. Angry. If you're angry, stop. Take a step back. Calm down. Take some deep breaths. There's countless ways out there that you can research that can help lower your anger levels. Lonely. Pick up the phone. Call a friend. Or get out of the damn house. Right? Lastly, tired. Get some rest. If you're tired, get some rest. But you always remember that if you face any of these 4 things or a combination of them, you must halt, because this is when you are most vulnerable to fall off of the habits that you want to keep going. All right, so that's it, right? That's the wrap up. We kind of ran through some things. We ran through them kind of quickly, all with the focus of winning the day. Honestly, the key to this whole topic could have been about focusing on the little things, because it's the little things that are ultimately going to determine your success at the end. Focus on getting better today. Focus on being great today. Don't worry about yesterday. You can plan for tomorrow, but the focus should be today. Small little habits win the day. And let's be honest, think about this for a second. No matter where you're at in life, no matter the highs or the lows, isn't it somewhat comforting to know that all you need to do is take a series of small steps, one day at a time, consistently, over time, and you can radically improve your life? Isn't that comforting? No matter where you're at, that's all it takes. And as the old saying goes, how you do anything is how you do everything. So win the day. As always, thank you for spending time with me today and allowing me to invest a little in your development. If you got anything from this topic or know someone who needs to hear this message, please like, comment, subscribe, or share, or all the above. But until next time, keep searching for the codes to unlocking your fullest potential. Be a catalyst, not just for you, but for all those around you. Take care.